Uh, is it live yet, or it's just
Live,
me and you?
now. We're
Oh,
live now.
okay.
Welcome to the Podium Live. Vincent Purvis here with Robert Johnson. What's going on, Robert?
I can't call it, man. Thank you for having me, man. That's all I can say about that. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you being able to spend a little time. I want to talk to you about your experience going over to Germany this last year. But before we even get into that, man, tell us a little bit about you. How you ended up playing American football in a different country on the other side of the world, man. Tell us your story.
Uh, Everybody got one of them, huh?
Right?
Yeah. Just after my senior year, fell into the free agent pool after my first year. Really didn't get as much as attention that I wanted as far as prolonging my senior year to my pro day, all of those and what for. But kind of didn't really get anything from the first year. So I went to play in FXFL, which was it was sponsored in New York at the time. So I spent months in Brooklyn playing for a developmental league. The team I played for was Florida Black Tips. Um, Basically, this league was called the FXFL. It only lasted for 2 years, but I had fun while it lasted, and I only did it for a year. I actually had a teammate to do it for the 2 years they had it, and the first year he ended up getting on the squad with the coach for practice squad, and the second year he ended up going to Pittsburgh. So they were doing a pretty good job in sending film out to teams. And after that issue was over, did a lot of training as far as all season for that spring, and I did pro day again as well. And I kind of got a little more experience with. I had a high caliber quarterback, of course, my boy Dak, throwing that pro day, so that gave me a lot of looks as far as private workouts and held with the Cowboys and the Cardinals. So I kind of held that close, and I made a decision to go play arena. Probably 3 weeks after pro day. I ended up playing in Nebraska for the Nebraska Danger. They brought me in throughout the middle of the season, and I think we got to the semifinals and lost to Spokane, and had fun playing arena. That's when this is when it kicked in. Okay, now
Right.
I don't know if you were for sure about a league that was supposed to start in Australia called the NGL,
I heard
and that
about it.
was yeah, that was gonna be the my first international really jump for me as far as American football. So when they declined and everybody got the news that they wasn't gonna pop off, so I went towards the Euro players procedure, did all the looks. I actually did my homework by talking to numerous import players that played in GFL the year before. And actually, one of the first people I did speak to about coming to Germany was Silas Nasita, who he played at Marburg the year before, and he played at Frankfurt just this year and had a great season for that organization. And he kind of blueprinted it out for me, let me know what to expect as far as football in Germany. We know they don't have a lot of the resources that we have back in America. So um, the quote I like to say, we'll really find out if you love football if you come out
Yeah, that's
here. Most definitely. And got to it. Marburg happened to be my first team. Love the city. The city reminded me of my hometown back at home at Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So it didn't take too long for me to get comfortable. Football season was great. We had a great season. Had a great season, man. I hated it ended it that way, but football is football. So we
what
gotta
was the
learn.
season like? Like from a football standpoint, GFL is kind of the epitome of American football in Europe right now. What did it feel like going from playing in the States with the experimental league, then you had the indoor, you're playing with nothing but Americans that play to your level. You've had tryouts with NFL teams. and then going to this European league where the GFL is the closest you're going to get to a professional in Europe. What was the transition like for you?
The transition was more of, I can say more of a player's coach. Like, meaning, yeah, I'm a player, but I had to sit down and kind of drill it to the Germans as far as the simple things that in America that we do on a regular basis is just what's the word I'm looking for? It's a natural habit to us. We can get it like that. It's just when you sit down and think that they don't have the sources that we have back at home, so they don't really know. They don't know, and what they do know is from what they seeing on the internet, as far as YouTube and all of them sources such. So
similar to being like how they say with the doctors, the WebMD, the internet for football. It's similar. You're the doctor and they're WebMD in football, and you have to break it down for them.
Yeah, and I feel like it wasn't a problem with that, because I feel like if you put as much love and passion in something you love to do, and you wouldn't have a problem explaining it to anybody at all.
All right. That's an interesting thing. That's what sets a lot of imports apart in Europe. The ones that continue to have great careers are the ones who can toe that line between being a player and a coach. And it looks like you definitely have that mindset going into it.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said just having a great set of imports as well is well needed, and we were all on the same pace as far as being a whole. And I think we took that to the sleeve as far as holding ourselves accountable as an imports.
Well, for the people that don't know who you were playing with, throw out the names, man. Who are the other guys on the team that helped you?
I got my boy Charlie Joseph. I'm gonna say his name first because I seen his name pop across the screen. My boy Charlie,
there you go.
Charlie from England, and he played receiver with me. He was slot receiver. I think he was a guy. Me and my coach can agree that he could have been playing in the States, and I wish he could have got at least 2 or 3 years in the program. He would have been real nice. And had my boy on the line, Richard Wu. He was from England as well. And my roommates, of course, Neil Howie. He was from Michigan, played at Eastern Michigan, and had some time with Seattle. And my boy Phil, he was just straight out of college at RPI, Phil Laneri the third. And 40 inch vertical. That's all I'm gonna say. You see the stats, 40 inch vertical. That's it. And my boy Ollie, that's my brother. We were roommates. Still is. And he played at Braunschweig. He's full German, but that's my brother. And so he unfortunately he went down the first game of the season with a knee injury, and it kind of took his season away from him. So kind of want to make sure I give him a major shout out. I know he kind of felt a little left behind a little bit as far as the team, and I want to let him know that we still support him 100%. And my boy Max Cassidy, he played center. He was a center. He was kind of the anchor for the O-line. And so who else we got? As far as import wise, that was can't forget Michael Taylor. He led the league in tackles this year on the GFL. He was the captain of the defense before us, and it was a force to be reckoned with. He played at Florida, so he kind of had that mindset of being that guy on the field that's gonna run side to side, basically, and gonna terrorize your quarterback.
Well, you named a lot of import players. Tell us a little bit about how it was like clashing. Well, I guess you didn't clash because now you have German brothers, right? Mm-hmm. But what was it like experiencing so many people from different cultures in the same? I mean, you all were playing football, but obviously a German, a UK guy, an American guy, y'all are a little different. How was it like experiencing that?
It was. I tell you, man, just from what I've done from when I got out of college, me going to New York, then me going to Nebraska, meeting all those type of players from different cities and states. Then going to Nebraska doing the same thing. It was just the same obstacle. And now since it was international, it's we talking countries now instead of states.
Yeah.
So that made it even more awesome. So I love the connection. Because as big as the world we might think we live in is really small, and football make it even more smaller to me. And we always find a knack in this person, or him, or him just because of football. And that's how you start a conversation right there. So it was all love, man.
That's great, man. Let's talk a little bit about the life in Germany. Like outside of playing football, what did you guys do for fun? How was it out there? What's the culture like? The people, how is it?
I want to say it's more laid back. Of course, they love their beer. They love their beer here. They take their beer precious. Listen, I don't have nothing to say about that. But nightlife is kind of, I say, it's resemblance of back home, especially Marburg, because like I said, my hometown, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, is the university there, Southern Miss. Marburg, you have the university there, college town. So I was familiar with that. And the city, man, you can remember from your childhood back from, the Cinderella stories, the Rapunzels, all the little princess stories. Actually, the guy that wrote all those stories is from Marburg. And it was a little fact I found out when I got there.
And that's a crazy thing about a lot of these towns in Europe is a lot of history is there when you go and visit and talk to different people and you learn. Like, did you feel like kind of like you were on a field trip, a school field trip at times? Like you were learning so much.
Like I was in social studies again, Mississippi studies.
That's exactly what it is. So
exactly.
Let's get back to talking about Robert Johnson, the football player, man. You just had your first season in GFL. You crushed it. Robert made it to the playoffs, which is just a feat in itself. In Germany, there's like 85,000 teams. You were one of the teams to make it to the final field. Of course, first round quarterfinals didn't go exactly as you guys wanted it to. But Robert Johnson, I want you to take a little time right now and explain to the world who you are as a player. What type of player are you? What type of player can people expect to see when Robert Johnson gets on the field?
I hope to make you stand up on your feet when I catch the ball. Most importantly, okay. I don't like being tackled by the first guy. I'm very passionate, but I'm not going to do anything that my grandma would be proud of. I can say that. And I'm a team player first. I'm about the team. Very respectful, but when it's time to cut it on, I cut it on. I say that.
If you had to compare yourself to a type of NFL player, who would you be most closely compared to?
Man, that's such a hard question, man. Most importantly, first off, I'll say I wouldn't want to compare myself to anybody because I'm so in love with myself. I don't want to sound too cocky, but as far as comparing myself to my style of play, first off, I had to say Dez Bryant a little bit. I don't have a vert like Dez, but I can get in a story about that because I was recruited by Oklahoma State in high school.
Well, go into the story, please. We want to know. Everybody wants to know.
The coach came to the school. He was talking to my head coach, and at the time, he told me he couldn't talk to me because of recruiting rules or whatever. But the first thing he said out his mouth, he's like, "Yeah, he do remind me of Dez Bryant." That came out.
See, that's validation right there. You got a fact. You remind somebody of Dez Bryant.
But yeah, I like to say Dez. I really look at big body receivers like myself. I'm not that big, but guys that.
What's your measurables?
Yeah. I look at Dez Bryant, Demaryius Thomas. Most importantly, that stand out. Michael Crabtree. I love Michael Crabtree and how he runs his routes. I've been studying Amari Cooper. Let me see. I let it compare myself to. Yeah, man. I'm not a new school type of guy because I'm still a TO fan. Yes, definitely TO fan. Yeah, man. As far as a receiver core standpoint, those are the top guys I kind of compare myself to.
So, Robert, what do you got planned next? Like, I don't know if you signed with any team for next year or anything, but what's the plan for the future, man? You planning on coming back to Europe, doing something else, arena? What type of things you got going? What's in the works?
Yeah, I plan on coming back to Europe. Hopefully it's Marburg. I don't know. I don't know what it has in store for me in the future, but I will.
So
I will make a decision.
Like the European American football scene, though, you're interested in it?
What's that?
Playing American football in Europe.
Oh, most definitely. But if my opportunity somewhere else is bigger, I'm gonna have to take it.
Of course. A lot of guys they either like it or they love it.
Yeah, and I ain't even gonna say I like it. I'm gonna say I love it. I love it.
Most players who like it, we see them 1 year and might not see them again. Those ones who love it, those are the guys that are around, become coaches or players, or even go into doing online interviews with now players, stuff like that. Those are the ones who love it.
Yeah, and I say, man, one thing I can say, when I did do my little research last year before I came out here, every import I talked to never had a negative thing to say about Deutschland. Never. Like, I haven't heard one comment, anything bad. Like, all of it was good. Everything was love. Took care of everything. And those guys are the ones, like he was talking about, they're the ones that come back for 2, 3, 4 years.
Well, that's a great thing that you definitely did your research. That's anybody paying attention to this. That's definitely something you guys want to make sure you do when you're getting out here in Europe is talk to other imports. Like Roger just said, information is free, guys. Information is free. You don't want to go somewhere where they don't have a good reputation. There's a lot of resources out there to talk to people. Anybody near the Marburg area now knows that Robert Johnson knows all of the spots and everything that goes on out there, so you can reach out to him as well. That's all we want to talk about, Robert. Anything else you want to get off your chest, say to the world out here? Any shout-outs before we get off the line?
Just all my people back home, hopefully that's watching or will be watching, especially all my family and friends, especially the fam. Miss the fam, little sister be texting me every day almost. Mom texts me every morning. They miss me. And I said, you got to think, I've been out here since I've been in Germany. I left for Germany March 23rd.
Yeah, March, it's October.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good little length.
Good little length, man. I think it was well needed, especially the time I spent home after college. I think I knew it was best for me to get up out of there.
You have like vacation plans now that the season's over?
Oh, yeah, I'm on vacation right now.
And that's what you're doing right now?
Yeah. I really don't have nothing planned as far as vacation here. But when I do get back to the States, is getting back in that office, time to get back to work. Like I can't afford to sit down too long. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Robert Johnson. That's Robert Johnson for you guys. Always on the grind. Look out for this guy somewhere next year, whether in the States or in Europe. He'll be out there, and we know he's going to tear it up. Appreciate having you on, Johnson.
I appreciate you, man.